Hola, and welcome to Word to Your Mama Relatives. Relatives is a podcast within a podcast. Relatives explores the true story of how a first-generation Mexican girl, that's me, Ritzy P, and a black girl, that's Nyysha, meet in South Bay, San Diego and become relatives. We discuss black and brown unity, hip-hop, overcoming trauma, crazy movie-type moments, navigating this life, and so much more. Black and Brown Unity POR VIDA. Relatives episodes come out once a month. This is Word Your Mama episode 132, Relatives 26. And I am still up here in Sonoma County with family, with familia. And so I am doing this from the back of my car. As you will hear, I did the episode from the back of my car because acoustics, right? And yeah. So in this episode, my relative and I, we get into me meeting Aida Rodriquez, the Puerto Rican, Dominican comedian who is amazing and who talks about her last episode. There's a documentary that shows that she meets her biological father and how that helped me in 2021. And how now we're 2023 and I got to meet her, and you'll hear about the details of that full circle moment. And then also full circle moment on how I used to dream about moving to a big city, moving to New York, and that I thought all the adventures that I've had so far in New York was it. And then boom, my mug is on Times Square. We talk about why it's on Times Square and what it means and what it symbolizes. And then for the Supernatural Bear Corner, we are up north. So who's to say? See, things are happening. We might get a song, a ditty. We might get a song he produced. We might get him to talk about something. Who's to say? But stay tuned for that, and then stay tuned for the outro. Let's get into it. This
Cool.
is. I feel like a reporter.
You look like you look like a reporter.
Coming to you live, Relatives 26.
The trees
Okay,
blowing in the background.
Hurricane Andrews coming through. Okay. What up, Relly?
What's up?
Technical difficulties. So let me just say this on air. Coming in live. I am in the back of a car because I'm traveling. So I have my travel mic, my headphones. I look like a reporter. So when you see the video, you understand what I'm talking about. But also, I want to put it on here that Riverside FM, who I pay money to record, is not working.
Period.
There's always something, and I'm paying money.
Get it together, people.
You know? And so we did everything right on both sides. And one of us is more technological savvier, technologically savvier than the other. But I'm on it. Like, I know what to do. And I did all the things. So now we had to do this on Zoom because we wanted to get this out. We this is our second time trying this month to get our relatives to you for the month of May, which is super important.
Yep. May it is.
So, how you doing, Relly? This is Relatives 26.
I'm doing well. Everything is everything, life, working, traveling, living, loving, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. No complaints on my side.
Are those new specs? Because I don't think I've ever seen you with pinks.
My hair's pink, so maybe it makes it look pink, but these are red.
The red? Oh, they look pink on here. They match.
This is a little momish, like, look at that.
With the leopard?
Yeah, but these are just readers, but your girl can't see. So these are readers, and I got a 3-pack, $21 from Sam's Club, and they do the job.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
So yeah, these are my
So I'm up here with Familia, who you know as well, in Sonoma County. And let me tell you, the allergies.
No bueno.
Like, I'm allergic to everything native to California. like everything native to California, and they have everything here, and I'm surrounded by it. And if you could see the seats in my car, I left the windows open a little bit because I needed some air. And it's like all these things are blowing in the car.
Now you're paranoid.
It's just
Oh,
it's just
man.
it's just allergies upon allergies. So we got here. It's been a couple of days, and the supernatural bear and his father and I, we got here, a couple of days ago. And I forgot. I always pack my allergy pills, and I forgot, but I had enough for like the trip up here. And I forgot the whole jar of allergy pills. And
Man.
then the supernatural bear has this like Flonase stuff, but it wasn't working. I was like, oh, you're gonna have to take, but I was like, oh, these pills. My rib was like, oh, but these pills, maybe he could try a pill. It's for 6 and over. He's never had pills, right? So he was taking it with the cereal. So for the past couple of days, we've been taking this pill because I didn't look at them. And usually allergy pills are non-drowsy, right?
No.
Usually the ones I take, the ones I buy all the
For
time,
kids, for sure.
for
Yes.
kids and for adults, I can't do drowsy because I'm doing stuff. So I'm always non-drowsy.
Healthy though, right?
So we were like hell asleep. But I was like, oh, it's the allergies. They make me tired. But then I knew something was afoot when the supernatural bear was hella tired during the day, which he never gets tired like that unless he's sick. And then I read the thing, it says may cause drowsiness. So I had to go get other pills. But it was hilarious because we were just like drugged.
Loopy. Yeah, definitely loopy. How many did you guys take
No, just
before?
the one, just to recommend it. The one. It's like 24 hours, right? Um, so last night I was like, oh, we can't have this. So last night I went to CVS to get the non-drowsies, the ones that I usually get.
Oh,
But
okay.
man, yeah,
Oof.
we were mimes. We were mimes in
Everything
the
makes me
daytime.
sleepy. Claritin makes me sleep. Everything makes me sleepy. Like it could
Even
be
the
just
non-drowsy?
yes. Ibuprofen makes me sleepy. I
Wow.
know.
What is that, Gene?
We won't speak on it. I don't even know, but we won't speak on it. Man, it's weird. It's just really weird. But yeah, I don't take anything. I just take my Flonase. As you can see, I have my no tissue, but I have this because my allergies. And it's always
Allergies
there's
are
a
bad.
million trees and everything here. Plus, there's so much construction going on just throughout the city
Mm,
because it's just the city's booming. It's crazy. And they're cutting down trees that haven't even been seen or touched in 20, 30 years.
you're
They're cutting them down.
shaking them by cutting them. Ugh.
It's crazy. So yeah, allergies are really bad here. Mind you, it's been raining. Then after rain, all the stuff comes up. And,
Mm.
it's
Because here I'm allergic to hay and horses, and we're by farms and stuff and barns and stuff. So it's like extra, extra, extra.
that's
So
fun.
what was that?
I was just saying about hay, like when I lived in Japan, I didn't know tatami mats. You know what tatami mats
Oh,
are? They're
see,
like
see.
in the house. And we
Mm-hmm.
had a Japanese house and we lived in it. And I was nonstop. And I just didn't know until probably 2 months in why. And it was because basically the flooring was hay.
Was see,
Hey.
see, hey,
So
no.
yeah. Okay. Go ahead. My bad.
So did we talk about already on here? Because I can't remember. Aida Rodriquez, the comedian. Did we talk about her already?
And she has a girlfriend?
No. And
Not
I
her.
met her, and it has to do with Bio Homeboy. I didn't tell you about that story.
Oh no.
Okay. I made a note and I was like, let's talk about this. So the episode before this, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, right?
Right.
So every year since 2021, in February 2021, I had something happen, and I had a therapy appointment, like an emergency therapy appointment, and then I recorded an episode right like immediately after that therapy appointment, right? And I was really nervous, and I was just rough rugged around. It was like I don't really do solo episodes, but it was just me because I wanted to get shit off my chest of what was happening. And I kind of alluded to a couple of things, and I don't mention, that I'm dealing with being in contact again with my biological father. We won't say any names, right? We'll call him the bio dude. Okay, that's homeboy bio dude. So So I allude to it, but I say that I'm going to talk about it later because I'm in the thick of it. This is 2021. This was like, what, 2 years ago, right? So, anyways, every year I re-drop that during May because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, and the feedback has been amazing because I was so hella nervous, right? Because I'm just like rough, regular, raw, talking about therapy and how long I've been in it and how it's helped me, and if you don't deal with your trauma, it's going to deal with you and manifest physically and all that shit. And I have book recommendations and that's why I put together, if you go to wordtoyourmama.com, there's a button that says resources, all mental health resources for people of color, LGBTQIA+, like the whole shebang, right? And there's linked to books and stuff like that. So I do that every May. Of course, what is that, an airplane? And then, so,
Sorry,
right?
I thought you saw a dog.
Okay, so that happens, right? So if you go back to that episode, you hear where I'm at. Like I'm just like in pain. I'm in like dealing with it. I'm like making moves, but I understand that I've already done some work and I'm in a decent place. But that, if I had it, it would have been. So anyways, March, I go to this conference I didn't want to go to, right? But one of a new friend was like, "Oh, my friends put this on. You need to go. It's all women, mostly Latino women, but it's also Black women, all like founders, entrepreneurs. It's the first annual. It's in Pasadena at this really dope, really nice hotel. You should go, right?" And I was like, "Well, all right." So I was like, okay, let me see. And they were going to give an award at the night. It was 2 days. And then the end of the second day, it was going to be a gala where they give a Lifetime Achievement Award to Sheila E., MC Light, Dolores Huerta, the Mexican girl from the quarterback from flag football. Like, it was like, and I was like, oh, that sounds amazing. Okay. So it was raining. And I was like, man, why am I here? I had to get a hotel. And I was like, I'm tired, da, da, da. Right. So I don't know the lineup. I just know a couple of people. The second day, I'm there all day with the whole lineup. And then Aida Rodriquez comes out. Have you seen her?
No.
Oh, you have to see her, Shay. She's rough, regular, raw comedian. Rough, regular, raw. She's Dominican and Puerto Rican, right? So 2021, December 2021, the same year that I recorded that episode that drops every year, December, my homegirl Lilian Rivera, the Puerto Rican writer, award-winning dope. She's like, "Oh, yo, you seen Aida Rodriguez?" I go, "I saw her when she was on She Ready, like they showcased her on She Ready. Tiffany Haddish showcased her. She go, "Oh, she has a new special. It's on HBO." But she's like, "But just a little warning, trigger warning." She does her stand-up, but in between it's like a documentary of her meeting her biological father for the first time ever in life.
Oh, whoa.
And I was like, shut up. And I was like, I love her. She's hilarious. Crazy life. And I was like, okay, let me go peep it out. So I go to HBO and I see it. I'm like crying watching this because she's doing her stand-up. It's hilarious. I'm crying because it's hilarious, but I'm also crying because I'm dealing with the same shit. Right? Where I'm in contact with homeboy for the first time, and I'm debating what he wants to meet me, and I don't know if I. Anyways, she had it where they record her. She's like, I didn't want anyone. I didn't want it to be like practice, or I wanted what I wanted to be when they caught me going to the Dominican Republic to see homeboy. It was the first time I saw him. It was it was my reaction, right? She finds out she has all these siblings too. I mean, it mirrors my shit. Mirrors my shit. So because of her, in that episode in December 2021, I remember I was talking to my therapist and I told her, I was like, I saw this thing and I was like, I don't know, maybe I am open to meeting homeboy. Maybe I do need it, and maybe that's why I'm dealing with all this shit, right? So I write Aida Rodriguez a DM, a long one.
Nice.
And I was like, I saw this, inspired, thank you so much. And the anger in that shit, right? So, anyways, that was December 2021. March, end of March, I go to this event. Who's there? Aida Rodriguez. She's hosting, she's doing an interview with Charo, Coochie Coochie, right?
He's
And
still
it was
around.
it was amazing. I didn't know Chado's life was dope. She's been through a lot. She's smart as fuck. She could bend down and do all kinds of things that we couldn't even do. Like, it was amazing. So, anyways, and Aida was keeping it real. It's hilarious. So I tell my homegirl, I was like, yo, and I tell her the story. So I'm not stressing to bother her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I see her, I see her. So we go out to the lobby, and then she's out there. No one's around her, but like two other people. And I was like, let's go over here, pretend we're drinking drinks over here. And then,
the pretend game.
right? So I go and I was like, hi, my name is Ritzy. I just wanted to, so I tell her the story, right? I go, but I know you haven't read it because you probably get 1,000 DMs. Because you know how on IG you can see if someone read it.
Yes.
She never read it. She'd never seen it. Right? So what's funny is that I look at that, right? So December 2021. So I see that December 2021. I meet my bio dude December 2022. And then in March of 2023, I meet her. I tell her, I'm like in tears telling her this, right? Plus, she's tall as fuck. Like, I'm tall for a Mexican. I'm like 5'5.5". She was wearing heels, and I had to look up to her. I have a picture of us together. Like, I'm like hugging her. I'm hugging her waist. Like, she's so tall, right? So I'm telling her, she's like, oh my God. She's like, thank you so much. That means so much. Da 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 da. And I was like, let me ask you. I was like, do you call him dad? Do you call? She's like, nah. She's like, I call him Senor. And her and I were high fiving. Senor. Her and I were high fiving. She's like, well, you got to earn that shit. I said, that's what I'm talking about. I call him by his name, you know? And when I refer to him as, I go, but the growth is crazy because I used to be referred to him as basura. And now I refer to him by his name, right? So we're laughing and and she's like, thank you so much for coming up to me and telling me this and I was like, oh, can I take a picture? So we took a picture and I was like, and she's like, because I haven't even posted this on anywhere, but I'm going to show you because you came up to me. In October, she has a book coming out and it's called The Legitimate Kid or Legitimate Kid. And she showed me the cover of her book.
Nice.
Isn't that crazy?
That's cool, though. That's so cool.
Isn't that crazy?
That circle, that
full fucking circle. So then I look at what I wrote and I was like, look at that fuck. So I DM'd her the picture of us together. And I was like, it was so amazing to meet you. Thank you so much. It means the world to me. I go reading this. So she read what I wrote and I was like, reading this now, I was in anger. I'm not in that place anymore. I started 2023 light as fuck.
Yes.
You know? And I was like, I just want to thank you. I was like, I don't call him basura anymore. Like, that's growth. That's growth. That's inner growth.
And that's good for both of y'all. Both. Like, it was destiny. Like, y'all was destined to meet. You had to.
Isn't that crazy?
Look how it works.
I'm going to have links. I'm going to send it to you now so we could talk about it later. But like her shit. And she's like, yo, she's like, I haven't. She's like, as a matter of fact, next month, which was going to be April, but when I saw her, she goes, I'm going to go see him for the first time since that first time.
Oh, wow.
She's like, I'm still processing it since 2021. She's like, I'm still processing that whole interaction and that whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I was telling her, I was like, I found out I have 7 motherfucking siblings. Like, it was levels upon like
levels.
So anyways, I just wanted to tell you, Relly, because you know what I've been dealing with. You know the details. And so I mentioned last episode, and I'll mention this one, is that, the relatives isn't to focus on this. So I'm going to have a special episode. I just need the right doctor, the right therapist, because I want it to be well-rounded episode where it's not just me ranting about my shit. It's me putting snippets of that one, telling this story, having a therapist on to talk about the different types of impact that, having a father that left
or was
just never there. Finding out later and, dealing with them trying to reach out to you and be, because of their dying or whatever, and how that fucks with you.
Yeah.
But I was like, I got to tell Marelli. And I was like, I don't think I told you. So I had to tell you on the relatives.
That was awesome. I like that story. That was good. because I always love the full circle moments. It's always like
love it.
Chills and yeah.
Meant to be. And I'm gonna put a link to her HBO special that I'm talking about, and the one before. You have to watch the one before when she ready, and then that one, so you have context, because her life is crazy. Like, her different people in her life kidnapped her because she had it's like crazy story, dude. She has a crazy. She comes from trauma. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
right. Oh,
and she keeps it real, and I love her so much, and so yeah, I can't wait to have this episode, because these episodes with you and I, really, are so therapeutic, right? Like, they help me out so much. I hope they help you, and they help others. People love them. And then, having that specific episode, last week episode, where I just talk about just being real about therapy. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Our people should be good with it. Like, you should, So anyways,
gotta normalize it.
Just gotta normalize and destigmatize.
That's right.
And then one last thing is that, but because it's relatives, and because we started off when we met in junior high, would us in junior high ever imagine that your girl's mug would be on Times Square? Do you want to support original content that supports diverse voices? Why not support Word to Your Mama? You're listening to it right now. Become a patron. Head over to patreon.com/WTYM. There are 4 patron levels to choose from, including Good Looking Out, I'm Down, Hell Yeah, and Please Believe It. Benefits include patron shoutouts, exclusive patron-only content, and so much more. Head on over to patreon.com/WTYM to take your support to the next level. Gracias.
Many of us have heard of the devastating passing of Hurricane Fiona through Puerto Rico, but not many of us know of ways, or better yet, trustworthy ways to help and contribute to those in need. Fiona a través de los ojos de los niños is an NFT project featuring art made by children of the nonprofit school Flor de Loto in Ponce, Puerto Rico. Through their drawings, they've expressed their feelings and fears which they went through the hurricane. You can help these children, their school, families, and communities by minting one of their NFTs at helppr.xyz. You can also help by sending crypto directly to their wallet listed on the website, or do a donation through PayPal. The links can be found in the description. And to learn more about this initiative and how you can help, please visit helppr.xyz or via Twitter at helpprflm.
When I saw that, I was like, my mouth dropped. I'm like, what's she showing me? And I was like, what? And I was all screaming. People around me are like, what? Like, what are you screaming at? Did you win the lotto? No. I mean, yeah, like, fuck yeah, we won the lotto. You know what I'm saying? So all the many moments, times, thoughts, like, we love the East Coast. We love New York. Like,
right.
Again, full circle. Here we go.
Circle 9.
Like your decade.
Yeah.
The 40s is your decade. Like, so I don't know. I just look at life so differently, of course, than I did when I was younger, or just even 2 years ago. But
right.
I'm just so all about like these moments, and you can feel life. You're just like in it. And you have those times where you're like, oh, this is life. This is what life is about.
Yes.
Like, this is the shit I work hard for.
Yes.
And just that full circle, boom. I love that.
Yeah, it was a fucking night. You know me. You know what we've been through.
Girl, Times Square.
Okay, so the whole reason, if you guys don't know, I was a speaker at NFT NYC, right? We love New York. We haven't even got to that part in our life when we go to New York for the first time, and that's a fucking adventure. That's a movie. I can't wait for that moment. We're like a few years off of that. But, I haven't been since before the Supernatural Bear was born. We love that fucking city. I dreamt of that city, and going there and being there, it felt comfortable. People thought we were from New York. They just... And they did the same thing this year. They're like, you ain't? And I was like, no. They're like, you seem? I go, I know.
But no. I love it.
But so it was a huge, let me let this plane do its thing. So it was a huge deal, right? And so the Airbnb was me and the founder of Rola Metaverso, my business partner, Ozzy, and then it was Sandy. She works at Jaritos. She's the one who invited me to have the Jaritos full circle
Hey, what's
moment.
up, Sandy? What's up? Let me get them
Right?
shoes. Let me get them shoes.
Right? So the day before the actual convention starts, I have a special VIP dinner. It's at the Javits Center, all by the water. Like it's this gorgeous shit. We're going up these escalators because on the 4th floor, and we're like, we're first generation Mexicanas, Latinas, and look where we're at. We were getting emotional. We were like going up the stairs. We're like, look at us. Not only are we here, we're representing for our people. We're representing for other Latinas, for other women. Like we're just like, we were in awe of the moment.
Wow.
So fast forward, our homegirl Lucia, she's showing Sandy something on her phone, and Sandy starts crying. And I was like, what is happening? Are you good? And they're like, you're next. I was like, what could you show me?
You're next. I like that.
That's going to make me cry. Right? So she's showing me Times Square and it's going like this. And I was like, what? I started crying. I was like, what are you showing? Like, I didn't believe it. I was like, what do you mean?
Yes.
like what is that you're showing me? Like my face?
Not only that, dead ass in the middle, bow. Like the girl is on there. Yes. I was like, you didn't have to look for you. You're right there.
I'm right there. And it was there for a week, Nyy. So then after that dinner, we went on the subway and then we all went down and I'm surrounded by our faces. Nice. It was crazy full circle moment because I was like, this is a city that I love. New York City, center of the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. This is a dream I never dreamed of, Nyy.
Oh, okay.
Us. Imagine us getting shot at and running in San Diego. Woo! You know what I'm saying? Getting tear gassed out of the club in Tijuana, getting tear gassed out of a house party
in San Isidro.
Like, so when I had Sonia on the 100th episode, the one that does the makeup over 40, the one on the tip top, she was on Times Square for Sephora. And I was like, that's amazing, Felicidad. Like, I was hella hyped for her because she's Latina, she's older, and I was like, that's amazing. Not once did it enter my brain. I wish I was on Times Square.
Right. Like,
for what? But again, like, yes. Why would I be?
For sure.
But it's not even a dream. Like one day, like, you know, sometimes you don't even know why, but like one day I want to, it's never entered my brain. So the fact that we were there and it was like rotating in my face and it was just like, so then before we left, we went in the bathroom because we're crying. So we're trying to fix our face. You know, we told this one lady, I don't know why we were in her way. I don't know what happened. Turns out she was one of the organizers of the event. And she was like, oh my God, this means the most. This is why we do it. You know, She's like, if you meet such and such, he's the one that made sure that every speaker had time up on Times Square. And I don't know, Nyy. It was just like, I got to talk about this with my rally because we've been through the most. And
here we are.
New York, man, you know the significance of New York to me, to us, to all of us. Do you know what I'm saying?
So many years. Yeah, that is insane. Insane.
That's why I was like, let me not lose this moment. In the moment, while I'm crying, I'm texting it to all my loved ones that I know that know me, right? The only person that kind of like was my prima, my new one that I reconnected with. Because she's like, what is Times Square? She's like,
just ask mine. Never mind.
Yeah, you know, she was like, and I was like, it's okay. It's all right. But, you know, I made sure to So anyway, so that's what I wanted to.
That was good. Well, congrats again on the Times Square. It was dope. I was almost crying when I saw. I was like, I was screaming. I was all happy. How dope is it? It's too dope. It's too dope. Yeah.
And this right here ladies, gents, everything in between. This is how you know you got the right people, because when I shared that with the people, they were happy with me, for me, the whole shebang. There was no haters. There was no like, wish I was on Times Square. Why she on Times Square? It was none of that shit. None of that shit.
No, we don't play like that. Right.
Get you some people like that. Get people like that in your life, because
get you one to meet.
Get yourself a Relly on in your life.
Oh, for real. We all need each other. We all got to root for each other, no matter what. That's what friends are. That's what friends. I know. I was just telling someone, yeah, my friend, my Relly from 9th grade. They're like, you know someone from the 9th grade? I know someone from kindergarten. Like, come on. Yeah. Right. Don't play. Like, keep the friendships going, y'all. Work on them.
So Nye, you just reminded me of this. Remember, I hated San Diego so much. Remember, you were like, "Oh, high school is wonderful," and da da da.
Okay, wait. Before you even start that, don't forget. I just want to interject real quick. Like, and I'll always be like, "How the fuck?" Like, just to me, how the fuck does she hate our city? Like, I love San Diego, but that's the young me, my mind, even up until 20s, 30s. But now that I'm a little older than that, you know what I'm saying? A little old, I know why. Trauma, who wants to be connected to trauma, linked to trauma, linked to bad shit? And I get it. I get it now. But I used to always be like, what? San Diego? I still, every time people, oh, you from San Diego? Or I'm from Cali. I'm like, yeah, I'm from Cali. I'm from San Diego. Like, I'm repping all the time. Don't care. But for you, I get it. Totally get it.
Like, I rep it. Like, I never deny it, because it made me what I am, right? But I hated it so much, and I hated high school. It's because my mom, she had cancer, so she was dying. I hated my home life since I could remember. So mine was like an escape, right? And I was like, I can't wait. I hated San Diego it's still small-minded. Like, I get claustrophobic. I'm making new memories and everything, but not because I'm talking to you, telling you about this New York, my mug on Times Square moment. I remember whenever I had the chance, I'd get on the trolley and I'd go by myself downtown, because I was like, one day, man, I'm going to go to New York.
That matches. That
one day, because I got to get out of here and I want to be in the city, because hip hop and da 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 da. And I'd go downtown. I was like, this isn't New York, but it's downtown. Like, one day I'm going to get out of here and I'm going to go to New York. And I thought just going to New York with you guys for the first time was it. And then I thought going to New York for CMJ and getting to meet Premier. And I was like, that's it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to know that me at 16, 17 would go downtown and say, one day I'm going to go to New York, and my mug is on Times Square.
It's in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
That's incredible. That it's just that heartfelt, that again, full circle moment.
Yeah. And I think tuna is like, I'm getting emotional because like all this shit I've been through, and then like
it's kind of like I made it, even if it's not where you want to be. Is, hey, I made it to one of my things that I said.
Yeah, like I made it because I'm healing and I've healed and it's all that stuff. But just like, I think at the same time, like all this is happening when I'm finally dealing with this other shit that I thought I had dealt with, right? Like, I thought I was good with homeboy not being there, and then turns out that's why I've been in therapy since 2028, that I wasn't good.
Wait,
you know what I mean?
When 20 what?
2028. What the fuck is that? 2018.
That girl. Right. I was like, wait, okay.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like all these full circle moments with Aida on that end, and then New York City. It's like our thing, and it was always been a dream. And then this people are still talking about it. Like, oh, I saw your post. Like, you were, and I was like, it's a it feels like a dream, but it's also a dream that I never dreamt of. Like, I never dreamt of it.
Yeah. Imagine nothing.
Nothing.
There you go. That was your gift. Nice gift, man. That's so awesome.
Thanks, Riley.
I'm next.
Yeah.
I'm next up on the screen doing nothing. I'm next. Nah, actually, that's crazy because I feel like, like you say, everybody goes to New York or wants to go to New York to make it. And just you talking about that just reminds me of my nephew. So, yeah, I want it for everybody who wants it. And you didn't even want it and got it. Straight blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Full circle moments. We love them. That means we're doing the work. That it's also, like, I don't know if I'd be in this place if I wasn't in the place of healing all these past couple of years again. Like, I don't think so, because I don't think I'd be in a good place to allow for these opportunities. I'd probably be in a fucked up place and be like, nah, I can't, or nah, I don't even want to start this, which would have not allowed me to be here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. And I speak on that all the time. Like, sometimes you don't want to do things and you feel a certain way and you whatever, but it's all about opportunities. It's all about opportunity. And it's not even like, oh, I'm taking a chance. It's just like, oh, let me broaden network. Let me broaden my eyes to something else. But I always tell people, the younger and, even people amongst my age, like, hey, if somebody's saying or asking and it's safe, like, I'm going for it, even if I'm not super interested, because that's probably where I need to be so I can get to where I need to be,
Right.
so.
Right. Yeah, because that conference with Aida Rodriquez, I didn't want to go. I was tired. I was super stressed out and it was raining. And I was like, why am I here? And then when that happened, I was like, oh, that's why.
Why you here? Yes.
I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can't wait to read her book, and I haven't done a post about it, but I want to do a separate like IG post showing the picture, showing a snippet of her talking about her shit, because I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Those feels.
It's crazy.
Life feels. That's what I call them. Life feels.
Yeah. So yeah, really. Yeah, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because we're having technical difficulties and I'm in the back of a car.
I mean, we talked and I loved it. I don't know. I feel like a little like my heart and my insides feel warm. But I mean, we can totally be good with this because it's good. Good shit.
It's a good one. Yeah. It's like the same vibes and the same feelings when you were like, oh, your mom did it that one time and you were making me cry because you're like, we were talking about how I was talking as a little kid saying like, oh, it was like a podcast and I'm doing all this stuff and you said something about my mom and I was like, you're like, she was there. And I was like, fuck, yeah, she's like totally
same feel.
Yeah, it's that good. It's that real good feel good, but like
life feels.
Yeah, life feels. You know what it is? It's when your waking life, when your life is connected to the vibe. So I listen to Mark Maron podcast and he said something, and I want to make sure I have to look it up to make sure to see if he made it up or someone else. But he was talking about, life and death. And he was like, yeah, until I enter the frequency. And I was like, I like that. Like you because your soul, I always, the supernatural bear, I'll be like, oh, they didn't die there. They just went into space. Right. But I like that, when you die, your physical body dies, but you just enter the frequency, like the stuff in this,
the next
in
level,
the outer rim and stuff. So I feel like these moments where we feel tingly and it's like emotional and stuff is because it's like it's connecting, right?
Yeah, our frequencies are connecting, our vibrations, like all that. I used to, I think 2020, not 2020. Oh my, I sound like you now.
2028.
100. I think it was like 2016, 2015 till 2019. 4 rough years. Rough on so many levels for me. And I just didn't know. I just didn't even know if I was coming, going, staying, or what. It was just a lot going on personally and across the board, from work to personal life to all that. And I remember being in San Diego, and I know you'll remember when I met the one older lady. She put me on, like, as I was there, we were talking a lot. So she put me on to just meditating and, all that different type of stuff. Even though I knew about it, didn't really practice much, thought I was meditating, but really wasn't. But
Yeah.
I find myself here. So she starts talking about Abraham Hicks. I know a few people probably heard of it, but it's more based off science. But I just kind of threw that in there just to say she spoke highly of frequencies and vibrations. And that's when I feel like I really start getting in tuned with just being human, being human straight across the board and living life. Like stop being of the earth and just be human and quit getting all these other interruptions. And that's just daily, work, kids, wife, husband, whatever. And you have to just know. But we've always been human.
Right.
Because we're on our senses. You got to be just in tuned, and everyone's in tune, but it's levels to this. There's levels to this.
Yeah, and because we're old souls. Like we've been here before, so it's not new to us. We're more in tune because we've been here before. It's like familiar.
I always tell people just try to be so in tune. You can hear it too. You can feel it too. So I'm really on that these days. Feeling like if I feel something, and like how last time we trying to get our thing together and it wouldn't work. And sometimes it's convenient when things do work and we get so pissed off or so frustrated because they don't. And I always say, you know what? Hey, let's stop. And like you said, you was like, let's just do another time. Because guess what? The time that we spent here and then you leave and do something else could have happened versus the time you did leave. I try to listen to that. And like, if it's not working out, it's not working out. If we can't get these plans together.
Force it. Yeah. Why force it? That's
real.
You
got to remember to use that throughout life. Just chill out sometimes.
Just chill out. Yeah. That's what we all need to do. Cause we're always like, I was talking to, have the Spanish tutor, have 2 different Spanish tutors because I'm trying to level up my Spanish to like a business level. And he was like, yeah, you're Americans. You guys are allergic to everything. And we were talking about the differences. And he's like, yeah, you guys, it's about like speed. He's like, here it doesn't matter if you're rich or you don't have much. We know how to cook. We take the time. We don't think of it as a waste of time. We think of it as just part of life, and being outdoors and doing these things is just.
Where's your tutor? You said here.
He's in Mexico. He's in Mexico.
Okay.
Right now he's on like the Yucatan Peninsula side, but he's from I forget what state he's from, what city he's from. But he's like all around, and we were just talking about that, and I was like, yeah. And I was explaining to him food deserts, for Black and brown communities, how we don't even have access, let alone if you want to cook, you know what I mean, have access to quality foods and, the preservatives that we have in our food, and for them, it doesn't matter. It's always like you get the real ingredients and you cook from that. And the bad influence of the United States on Mexico. Like he's like, but now there's younger cats that don't even know how to cook. They have a kitchen. They don't know how to cook. They're just always ordering Uber Eats.
Don't know how to cook, man. They can't even tell time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I hear you, Riley. I hear you. Just calm the fuck down.
Yeah. Chill out. Life's still going to be.
Chill the fuck out.
Let it
Chill the fuck out.
We got to practice that. We got to practice saying that to the younger generation. And I'm talking 20 years younger generation. Like,
yeah.
Our new kids got to listen. Just chill out sometimes and learn to be.
Listen to your shit.
Yeah, they're not aware of their surroundings. And I'm just like, look at them. La, la, la. I'm in the store. La, la, la. Like, come on, look at these kids. They're not even aware. Parents are not aware. I see that a lot.
Parents are not aware. Yeah. But in New York, man, you got to be aware.
Everyone's aware. The rats.
You got to be aware. The rats are, the pigeons. Everybody's aware. Like, you got to be aware. But yeah, those are lessons that are tough to learn. But all right then, Relly. Anything else before I bid you adieu from Sonoma County?
In the back of a car.
Reporting live from the back of a car.
I love this combo, and we're going to end it just with that. The love of the combo.
The love. The love of the convo. Enter the when frequencies meet. Boom.
Yeah. All right, y'all.
All right, Relly. Gracias.
And now introducing the Supernatural Bear Corner.
Supernatural Bear.
Hello, everyone. I am the Supernatural Bear, coming to you live from our car. Yeah, baby. This car has great acoustics. So I haven't heard it, obviously, but my mom told me that we talked about the her being on Times Square recently. My first thoughts. This is unreal. Like, somebody pinch me. This is a dream. This is a dream. My mom, even if it's just for like 2.243 seconds, is on Times Square. It's insane. I tried a bit. Yeah. It was amazing. It was unreal. It was really just unreal experience. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I just finished school. Woo!
Elementary. Done.
Yeah, I finished my final day of elementary, so now I'm moving on to middle school. Let's go. So yeah, let's go, Mario. I really love them. Anyway, go see Transformers: Rise of the Beast in theaters June 9th, please. This is not an officially sponsored promotion. Just go see it. It's cool. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next episode of the podcast. I mean, I can't see you, but I can't hear you either, because, yeah, details aren't important. See you guys soon.
Shooby-doo. Yeah. There you have it, folks. Episode 132, Relatives 26. Coming to you live and direct from the back of our car. Beautiful moments, man. The moments that we've had on, because we're recording this, right? This started because I wanted to do a TV show about this, but then the pandemic happened. I was like, well, why don't we start remembering memories? So when the TV show happens, we can remember these things and get the insights, and it's very therapeutic. But these full circle moments that we could share and discuss and cry, and it's just amazing. So, muchísimas gracias for listening to our episode, listening to this podcast, listening all the way to the end. And then my little man's talking about how he cried, because I was in New York, they were at home. So I know that he knew and he said he was happy, but I didn't know the initial reaction. So to hear that, it warmed my soul. It warmed my soul. My little man's. So yes, we're here in Allergy Town, but it's with family. And it's important that you spend time with those that you love and that you respect and that, add so much to your life. I mean, they saved me. My mom passed away. I was 20 and they took me in as their own. And my rib that we talk about here all the time, one day she'll be on here, hopefully. Her parents are the Supernatural Bear's grandparents. No question about it. They were there when I went into labor. They were there when he came out. And he sleeps with a picture of them on his nightstand. And when he goes into another room for a sleepover or whatever, we move around the house. If he doesn't, he brings a picture of them with us. So, yeah, it's no question. Like the Supernatural Bear said, they may not be blood related, but they're heart related. And to everyone out there, muchísimas gracias for all your support. We're taking it to a new level this year. We re-signed with Latina Podcasters Network. We're on a new platform, which you guys don't see a difference because wherever you listen to it is where you listen to it. But we're on a new platform. There's an app now, Latina Podcasters app, to listen to on there. And yeah, it's exciting timers, kids. It's exciting timers. Oh, also, I'm doing voiceover work now So I'll put a link in the show notes. And I have it on Fiverr so that I can be helpful and help those in other parts of the country. And I'm not other parts of the country, other parts of the world. So that's why it's the price the way it is. So that people from different parts of the world can afford having a voiceover person and all that help and stuff like that. So I'll have a link to that. Tell your folks, tell your peeps, tell your friends about this and everything else. Don't forget, there's a Word to Your Mama store. There's a code in the show notes that will give you 10% off of there. You can become a patron on Patreon. You can buy us a whiskey buy us a coffee. And you can leave us a review. That's free. So, yeah, muchísimas gracias. We appreciate you. And as always, we reap. Word to Your Mama is owned and produced by Ritzy P. Intro beat produced by Nico Beats. If you want to know more, you want to email us, you want to get the media kit, go head over to wordtoyourmama.com. Word to Your Mama is now part of the Latina Podcasters Network. And as always, Word to Your Mama is brought to you by ritzyperiwinkle.com. Make sure to follow Word to Your Mama on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you stream your podcasts, or download the Latina Podcasters Network app.